Hello, dear friends. I am Dr. Prashant Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration, Government Lohia College, Churu, Rajasthan. In this video, you can see the title of this video is Proposal or Offer. Reference Indian Contract Act 1872. So, my dear friends, we will discuss about proposal or offer in terms of Indian Contract Act 1872. Every contract, as you all know, every contract requires an agreement, and every agreement arises when a definite proposal is made. Definite proposal, it means it is made by one party and unconditionally accepted by the other to whom it is made. It means that a lawful proposal and its acceptance is a must for creation of a valid contract, because proposal and acceptance is a must for creation of a valid contract, because proposal and acceptance is a characteristic of a valid contract. So if you want to create a valid contract, then you should have proper knowledge about proposal, and you should have proper knowledge about acceptance also. So in this video we will discuss about meaning of proposal or offer and the basic characteristics of proposal. So very first we will discuss about meaning of proposal, or we can say what is proposal or what is offer. Proposal and offer are synonym. There is no difference between proposal and offer in terms of Indian Contract Act 1872. So what is proposal? Listen carefully. The term proposal is similar to the term offer as per English law. It means if you want to know about proposal or offer, then you should have a clear vision in terms of Indian Contract Act, and you should have a clear vision about the definition of proposal, which is derived in Indian Contract Act 1872. As per section 2 subsection A, when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or to abstain from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent of that other to such act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal. So what is called proposal in this definition? Very clear, that a proposal or offer is an expression of willingness. So very first we have to know that if we want to create a proposal or offer, then we must know that the offer or the proposal is an expression of willingness. It means without willingness, without expression of willingness, no one can create a proposal. A proposal or offer is an expression of willingness by one person to another. It means there are two persons. Uh, First person is proposer and the second person is acceptor. So by one person to another to enter into an agreement on the terms stated by him with an intention to obtain the assent of the other. It means we should have a acceptance in terms of our offer or our proposal. So a proposal or offer is an expression of willingness, and in such type of proposal or offer, a person a one person proposes to another to enter into an agreement. We all know that in agreement there are two parties. One person is proposer and second person is acceptor. So if we want to create a agreement, then we should have proposer and acceptor. So on this ground, if we want to know about a proposal or offer, then we should have a clear vision about uh, uh, agreement. So if you want to know about proposal, then very first you have to know about agreement. As per section 2 subsection E, we have earlier discussed about agreement, and in this video we are discussing about proposal or offer. Now we will take an illustration or example. For example, Amit says to Sumit that I want to buy your motorcycle in for 40,000. I want to buy your motorcycle for 40,000. Uh, will you sell it? In this example, A is expressing his willingness. Listen carefully. In this example, A or Amit is expressing his willingness to Sumit to buy motorcycle at his terms. His terms means 40,000 rupees with a view to obtaining his assent to it. It means if Amit want a motorcycle of Sumit, then he is expressing his willingness to Sumit that he want to buy or he want to purchase his bike for 40,000. So here is a proposal or offer, because we have earlier discussed the definition of proposal or offer, that in a proposal or offer is an expression of willingness. So here Amit is expressing his willingness to Sumit that he want to buy that he want to buy a motorbike or buy a bike for 40,000 rupees. So if the person making the proposal, earlier we have discussed that there are two parties. Number one party is proposer and second party is acceptor. We can use offerer word for proposer, because there is no difference between proposer and offerer. So we can say that if one person is proposer, then second person is acceptor, or we can say one person is offerer, then second person is offeree. So there are two parties, one person is proposer and second person is acceptor, or we can say one party is offerer and second party is offeree. So on acceptance of the proposal, the person making the proposal is called the promiser. So it means promiser means one who submits his promise to another. If one submit his promise to another, then we can say that the submitter of promise is promiser, and the person accepting the proposal is called the promisee or the acceptor. So if we want to clear our term in terms of proposal and offerer, or promiser and promisee, then we should go with section 2 of Indian Contract Act, and we should go with subsection C of Indian Contract Act 1872. If we want to clear about this term, we can use another example. For example, Amit is the offerer or proposer and the Sumit is the offeree. Because earlier we have discussed an example of motorcycle which Amit want to buy from Sumit. Then Amit is uh, Amit is not promiser. In this situation, Amit is offerer, because he is giving he want to buy a bike of Sumit. Then in this situation, Amit is a proposer or offerer, and the same situation, if Sumit is here, then he can also do it according to his terms. So a proposal or offer in as an expression of willingness, by one person to another to enter into an agreement on the terms stated by him with an intention. We can say that there is a legal intention. If we want to obtain the assent of the another party, then we should have a clear vision about the expression of willingness from one person to another. So this is the meaning of proposal and offer. Now we will discuss about basic characteristics of proposal. So the turn is for basic characteristics of proposal. Very first characteristics of proposal is at least two parties, or we can say minimum two parties. So if we want to create an agreement, we should create proposal and acceptance. But if we want to make a proposal, then we can say there must be at least two parties. One party is proposer and the second party is acceptor, or we can say one party is promiser and the second party is promisee, or we can say one party is offerer and the second party is offeree. There is no difference between these words. Actually we have to clear about these terms. So we can say that no one can in his own right be under an obligation to himself, according to the case of Faulkner versus Lowe. There is a case, the case study is Faulkner versus Lowe. According to the case of Faulkner versus Lowe, it is said that no man can in his own right be under an obligation to himself. It means minimum two parties are required to make a proposal. So in order to make a proposal, it means there should be there must be at least two parties. One is proposer and the second one is offeree or acceptor. Now the turn is for second characteristic. Second characteristic is a proposal may be positive or negative. So it should be clear to one and all that if we want to create a proposal, then proposal may be positive or negative. It means a proposal may be positive and a proposal may be negative or positive. So if the proposal is positive, then the proposer expresses his willingness to do something, and if it is negative, then the proposer not expresses his willingness to do something. It means we can use a illustration, or we can use a example. You can use an example so that you can directly clear your idea or term about the proposal or offer. For example, Amit proposes to Sumit to make a film for his film production house. Okay, it means Amit proposes Sumit to make a film for his film production house. Amit is a film producer and Sumit is an actor. So Amit offers Sumit to make a film for his film production house. So in this condition, the proposal is for in this condition the proposal is for doing something. Or we can say it is a positive proposal, because here in this example Amit proposes to Sumit for a positive work. And similarly we can use a negative example also. For example, Amit offers to Sumit, if you don't act in my film, if you don't act in my film, I will suit against you. And so in this type of example, we can say that the proposal is to abstain from doing something. uh, it means it is a negative proposal, because in this example Amit offers to Sumit that you don't do you need not to do something, otherwise he can file a suit for sorry against you. So there may be two type of proposals. One is positive and second one is negative. So we can say that proposal may be positive or proposal may be negative. It depends on the situation. It depends on the circumstances. It depends on the basic features of a proposal, and we can signify each and every proposal in two parts. It may be positive or it may be negative. Now the turn is for next characteristic. Next characteristic is communication, or we can say, if we want to create a proposal, then we should have a clear idea about communication of a proposal. Every proposal should be complete in terms of communication part, because if the intended party doesn't know about the proposal, then we can say that the proposal is incomplete. So if we want to clear about idea about the term of proposal, we should have a clear idea that if we signify or communicate a proposal to another party, then it is very clear, otherwise it is incomplete. So every proposal is complete only when the proposer or offerer signifies or communicates it to the party uh, to whom he wants to communicate it, otherwise it is incomplete. uh, okay, now the turn is for next characteristic. Next characteristic is that a proposal must be made to obtain assent. It is very clear with the help of section 2 subsection A of Indian Contract Act 1872 that if we want to create a legal proposal, then it must be made with a view to obtain the assent of the offeree, or we can say acceptor. So if we want to create a valid proposal, then we have to get or we have to obtain assent or we have to obtain the assent of the offeree. It means a proposal made without any intention to get the assent of the other, we can say that there is no proposal in the light of uh, uh, legal world, in the light of legal world, or we can say in the light of law also. Now we will discuss about the another characteristic. Another characteristic is that a proposal must be made with an intention to create legal relations. Earlier we have discussed that intention to create legal relations, it is also an characteristic of a valid contract. If we want to know about a valid contract, we should have very clear idea about an intention to create legal relations. So what is an intention to create legal intentions? What does it mean? So we have to clear about an intention to create legal relations. So I will provide you a clear vision in terms of intention to create legal relations. So listen carefully. A proposal made without any intention to create legal relations, it means that there is no legal proposal. It means there is no legal intention to create a proposal. It means that the intention of parties is the intention of parties should be very clear in terms of an agreement, in terms of an a in terms of a valid contract. So we can say that uh, uh, for example, we will use a case, Mrs. Balfour versus Mr. Balfour. Here is a case of a husband and wife. In this case, a proposal of the dinner by a friend or casual proposal by a husband to his wife to give a monthly allowance of rupees 100 or so. It is not a proposal made with an intention to create legal relations. For example, if you invite your relative for a party, or for just like for a birthday party, or you invite your friend or relative for a marriage ceremony, in such type of activities, we can say that there is no intention to create legal relation. uh, it means, for example, we can say, if we want to create a legal agreement, we should have an intention to create legal relations. In friendship, in relationship, um, uh, we accept that there are few relations of a valid legal basis. But if we doesn't have any intention to create legal relation, then we can say that there is not a legal portfolio. On the other hand, proposal made in the course of business is generally presumed to have an intention to create legal relations. For example, if you are giving your consent in terms of a business agreement, then we can easily say that you are giving your consent according to uh, Indian Contract Act 1872, and the section of Indian Contract Act 1872, section 2 and the subsection A signifies that the expression of willingness by one person to another. So in this video, I think we should end this video. And okay, thank you very much. We will meet again. Have a nice evening.